And welcome back. It's the 13th of June, higher plus 5 day. Now, 2 days in a row, we've ended with a pretty difficult question. So I'm wondering where it's going to go today. But let's just get started. First question, and we have what's a ratio question, isn't it? So A is the point with the coordinates 320, B is the point with coordinates 15, 2. N is the point on the line such that A to N, N to B is 2 to 1. So that is 2/3 and that is 1/3. We've seen these questions before, haven't we? Find the coordinates of N. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to say to get from A to B, well, my X values go up by 12 and my Y values go down by 18, so minus 18. To get from A to N, well, that is going to be 2/3 of that distance. So 2/3 of 12 minus 18, and 2/3 of 12, well, 12 divided by 3 is 4 times 2 is 8, and 2/3 of minus 18 is minus 6 times 2, which is minus 12. But that's the vector to get from A to N. So I need to take my A point, which is 320, and I need to add that vector on. So I'm going to add on 8, and I'm going to take away 12, and that gives me a final answer of 11, 8. So my final answer for that question is going to be 11, 8. Good question. Next question. A man jogs 200 meters to the nearest 10 meters. Oh, we've got a bounds question. So my distance is 200. 10 meters above is 210. 10 meters below is 190. It takes him 30 seconds to the nearest 10 seconds. So my time is 30. 10 above is 40. 10 below is 20. Work out the error interval. In other words, I'm going to need the smallest and largest speed. So speed is distance over time. So therefore my upper speed is going to be my upper distance divided by my smallest time. And my lowest speed is going to be the smallest distance divided by the longest time it took me to get there. In other words, U for upper, not longer. Right, let's do that. So my upper distance, well, my distance is here. So my upper is 205, i.e. between those two. And my lower distance is going to be 195, which is between here and here. Similar with my time. So my lower time is going to be 25 between there and there. And my upper time is going to be 35 between here and here. Which means, now calculator out, I need to write a few decimal places here. So let's write them out. So therefore 205 over 25 is, well, it's actually slightly easier because it's just 8.2. 195 over 35 is 5.571428571. So I'm just going to write 5.5714. Although actually I could write this as a fraction as well, which arguably is slightly neater, but this will be okay. Which means my error interval, which means my speed is anywhere between 5.5714 speed and 8.2 to 4 decimal places for here. And that's it, question done. Next question, in fact, final question today. Shown is triangle ABC. There's ABC. ABC is rotated 180 degrees about minus 1, 2. So minus 1, 2 is here. And then translated by vector 2, 4. Write down the coordinates of the invariant point. Now that's an interesting one. Okay, well, let's do it and let's work out which point doesn't move. Right, so let's rotate A 180 degrees about this centre. So my new A is going to be here. Let's call that A dot. My new B goes across 2 and up 2, so up 2 and across 2 is my new B is here. And my new C is up 1 and left 2, so up 2 and across here puts me here, which is my new C. Now, before I carry on, quick sanity check. And I've done this without tracing paper. In the exam, use tracing paper, get it right, don't kind of guess like I have. But my point is my new ABC is here, and then I translate it. So I'm going to move it across by 2, which goes to here, so I'm looking at my A point, and then down by 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do this in green. So that's my new A, which means that's my new B dash, and which means that's my new C. So you can see every single point has moved except for one point, and that point is my invariant point. And if you haven't already, pause the video. Can you work out which point it is? Because if you haven't seen this sort of thing before, you may not spot it. Okay, did you spot it? The invariant point is actually 0, 0. And that is because this point here did rotate up to here, but then it moved back to where it started from. So it is invariant because it hasn't moved. Good question, difficult question. Not as difficult as the last couple of days probably, unless you haven't seen invariant points before, but good question. As ever, let me know how they went for you. Do like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.